Assalamualaikum friends. Welcome back to our channel today. We have a very special guest, Miss Monireh from Iran. She is an IELTS expert. Um, Hi Monireh, how are you?
Fine. How about you? I'm great.
I'm doing absolutely good. Let me inform our viewers that Miss Monireh is going to talk about top 5 tips regarding IELTS writing. So over to you, our expert.
Thank you, Nawab. It's my pleasure to be here. And hello to everybody that can hear and see me. Okay. I'm here to give you, I think, Nawab, I can give you more than 5 tips. Okay. I think
Pleasure.
it's a good idea to take your notes and try to write them all down. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The first most important thing for writing IELTS Task 2 is to read the question and try to analyze it. If you cannot understand it, and if you cannot understand and analyze it, you will get off topic. I think this is the most important problem for the IELTS candidates, for those of whom that they need to get 7 or 7 plus. They are good writers. Their grammar is great. Their vocabulary and their range of vocabulary is great, but they get off topic. And if you miss this part, you will lose that point. So, how can we analyze the question? First, you need to understand the keyword, and then you need to understand the micro keywords. Usually, there is a keyword, and there are 2 or 3 micro keywords. It is really important to distinguish between these two, because I see that, for example, the general topic is about university, and the micro keywords are about computer and the students. But if you get off topic and if you don't understand, because of hesitation, they think that oh my God, I'm in lack of time. They, without thinking, without mind mapping, they take the pen and they start. And when they are in the middle of the writing, it's oh my God, I blew it. I cannot finish it. So it is really important to spend 2 to 3 minutes to analyze the question and to understand what type of question it is. There are 5 types, opinion, advantage, disadvantage, discussion, direct question, or this is really simple for IELTS candidates. When you analyze the question and then you got the keywords and micro keywords, then you need to mind map. How is mind mapping? There are different ways for mind mapping. One of the helpful things is to write a topic sentence for each part, and then write at least three supporting phrases. Pay attention. You don't need to write a complete sentence or clause. You need to write a phrase. And you have 2 topic sentences or 3 topic sentences and 3 supporting ideas, 3 supporting phrases. Then you have managed your mind. Then you have managed, you made up in this way you can make up your mind, and then you won't lose any mark, and you won't get off topic. And when you understand the type of the question, imagine, let's say, for example, opinion one. For opinion one, it is really important to state your opinion, strongly state your opinion in the first paragraph. I mean, in the introduction paragraph, because I see some the candidates that I myself, when I read their paper, I cannot understand. Even in the conclusion, I couldn't see that if they are agree, if they agree or disagree, or sometimes you can have balanced, partially agree. But because it is not clearly stated, you will lose your point. So it is really important to state your opinion strongly in the first paragraph. And then imagine that you agree. Then you can have 2 to 3 strongly supported ideas. You need to write 3 topic sentences to support your opinion. If you agree, three reasons to support. If you disagree, three reasons to again support your idea. And there is another way to write. We call them balanced approach. There is, we can say that maybe there are other names for that, but I call them balanced approach. Balanced approach, but I don't recommend it. Balanced approach is for professional writers. You need to put yourself in that place and to write, you need to see both sides, agree or disagree. This is for agree
Mm-hmm.
disagree. And imagine that your type of question is discussion. Again, I see that many candidates get confused in this part. I have a method for that. For example, let me give you an example. Imagine that very simple one. They say that a group of people argue that bicycle is good, another group argue that it is bad. So here, what is your keyword? Yes, your keyword is bicycle. There are two
Mm-hmm.
groups, good and bad. So I call this, imagine, it's very easy. Say apple and apple. Here I have just only one subject. This is apple. In one paragraph, I put myself in the shoes of that group that they say that it is good. So I try to support, I try to give, positive points of a bicycle. And in another paragraph, I write negative points of bicycle. But in another topic, I mean the topic of the question, it is that uh, some people argue that bicycle is bad. Another group argue that bike is better. So how many keywords do you have here? There are two keywords here. In one paragraph, you need to go. I have a question. Can you write the positive points of bicycle here? No. If you
You
write the
know.
positive points of bicycle, then you will lose your point for task response and you get
Exactly.
off topic. You lose your point for cohesion and coherence part, because in that question they didn't say that this group argued that positive points of bicycle. They argued bicycle is bad, so you need to write negative points of bicycle.
Right.
It is really important. So you see that analyzing the question is really important for writing a well structured essay. So at least you need to spend 3 to 5 minutes for this part. And then you start, you write your introduction. It's really easy. I don't want to repeat when you Google, you can see that how to paraphrase the topic, try
Exactly.
not to be repetitive, you need a good bank of vocabulary, range of vocabulary. You need to write, accurate. These are really easy, and I'm sure that most of the IELTS candidates know how to
Exactly.
manage it. And
They do know it.
so,
Yeah.
when you got the keywords, then you need to break it down. As I told you, mind mapping helps you here. It's a technique you can search. Mind mapping is something like a circle in the middle, and a different parts that is related to that topic. And let's say another point to keep it in your mind to fix it. Don't use statistics. Sometimes I can see that people use a statistic, as he said, as she said. How can I prove that? How can I understand that it is true? Don't use statistics in your writing, then you will lose mark. And don't write personally. You need to use general ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Generalization is very, very important here. How can you use general ideas using modal verbs, for example, grammar point, using modal verbs instead of writing it is this, write it may be this. Then you change it to a more general idea.
Mm-hmm.
Another point that I see that using informal language, phrasal verb, idiomatic structure, slangs, don't use them. You will lose your point. Idiomatic structures, slangs, idioms, these are for speaking. forget about them when you want to write. The only thing you need to write is academic more than the formal language.
True.
What else? Another big problem is using cliches. Recently, within I can say the last 3 years, the policy for especially for writing part has been changed. They like the candidates to use to use natural language. They need to when they read it. I myself I had some students that they were really good exam takers. They were awful at speaking, but they had a sharp mind. They could memorize everything. Even they could memorize a writing. And imagine that, okay, you are really lucky. Oh my God, I have practiced this topic before. And then you take your pen without thinking. You start from beginning to end and you write something memorized. Then you will lose your point because in your writing paper, there is a part, I can show it to you. There is a part that, can I share my screen here?
If it is
Is it
easy
possible?
for you, then you may be, yes, sure. If you want, then you can definitely
Okay. Yeah,
get your
let
page.
me show you. Yes, yes, yes. I need to show you a part. Let me.
Don't worry.
I wanted to show you the paper of the exact paper of writing task 2. It's a good idea when you want to practice writing task 2, use that paper because it helps you to, in when you're at the exam, when you're sitting for the IELTS test, you don't have that time. You're stressed and you don't have that time, to count the words. But if you have practiced writing in that paper, when you see, you say, okay, that's enough. I know that based on my
Exactly.
handwriting, this yes, this is enough. So
Exactly.
in that paper, there is a part which is written memorized. If you use cliches and something memorized that it doesn't suit your general language, I when I read your essay, I say, okay, this examiner is, for example, intermediate learner, but you have used some parts, some phrases that it is for advanced learners. So it doesn't help you. It is clear that it is memorized. It is clear that it is cliche. You will lose your point. And another important thing is your handwriting. Sometimes, sometimes no. For some candidates, I have seen that they have lost their mark only because of their handwriting. There is a part which is written illegible. If that person, I mean the examiner, cannot read your paper, as you know, all the papers are scanned and then they are sent to Cambridge University. Then they check them. When they scan, then the quality of that paper is reduced. So you need to practice on your handwriting. If your handwriting is not clear to read, then there is a tick and you will lose your points.
Mhm.
And another important factor to keep it in your mind is avoid using wordy paragraphs. Some students think that if they use a lot of complex and compound sentences and structures, passive, with another linker, with another conjunction word, it is good. Your sentence should be natural enough. You don't need to write a three-line sentence. Uh, If I, as the examiner, need to read your paper twice, it means that it is not natural. It is not, understandable. Then you will lose your points. So avoid wordy sentences. You don't need to
Mhm.
use a lot of collocations, a lot of advanced words. For a topic, if you use 6 to 7 uncommon, advanced collocations and related words, it's enough. Okay, what else?
That's perfectly fine with us. I think those all tips were really necessary. First of all, I was thinking that the session was increasing its time, but then I realized that these are really important tips one must know because as you have earlier mentioned that Google tells you a lot of common things, paraphrasing, its structure, and how the essay should come. But these types of knowledge and tips the students can only get when they are interacting with the professionals directly, I guess.
Yeah.
So, from the core of my heart, we are really thankful that you have shared a lot of
Thank
experience
you.
and
That was
practical
my
knowledge.
pleasure. Let me give you another, last but not the least
Sure,
important thing.
please. Yeah.
Proofreading. Proofreading is really important. You know,
Hmm.
the last 3 minutes of your essay should be devoted to proofread. What is proofreading? You need to read your sentences to check if there is any dictation, grammar, or vocabulary mistakes. Then you correct them. But proofreading is not for the last, stage of your writing. When you write a sentence, proofread, and when you finish a paragraph, proofread. Then the
Proofreading,
second
exactly.
paragraph,
Exactly.
proofread. It's really important because imagine that it is, for example, you are in the last 30 minutes of the exam and you say, oh my God, I need to erase this part, I need to substitute it with another sentence. Then you will get panic, you will get stressed because you don't have time. Then you don't have time to write your conclusion, and then you will miss your point.
True, true. Thank you very much, Munire. It was really nice to talk to you, and sharing and listening such kinds of tips really even increases my knowledge as well. So I'm really grateful to
My
you that you
pleasure.
have joined our podcast and you have also accepted our invitation to be our guest. Thank you very much. Once again, we are extremely
It
delighted.
was my pleasure. I hope it was helpful for you and all IS candidates all around the world.
Exactly. Thank you very much. And hopefully we'll be having other sessions with you. So please be generous in us
Thank
to
you.
accept our invitations
Yeah,
as well.
my pleasure. My pleasure. Why not? Of course. I promise.
Thank you. And I promise to invite you. Thank you very much. Have a great day
Thank
ahead. Bye bye.
you. You too. Bye bye. Have a good time.